Like a man who came prepared for leadership, there must be Fubara has left his footprint on nearly every community in every sector.
Your Excellency, the former president of Liberia, George Weah, and also the keynote speaker of this very special event, the NBA Annual Conference. The Chief Judge of the Federation, ably represented by our own the Chief Judge of Rivers State, the President of the Court of Appeal and other judges that are here, justices that are here, members of the National Assembly, members of the Federal Executive Councils that are here, the President of NBA, and also His Eminence Ishiwu Obronu, who is the royal father of this event, and other monarchs that are here with us. Past presidents of MBAs, and also the incoming president of MBA. Learned senior advocates, members of the body of benchers, the service commanders that are here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Allow this protocol because maybe if I start calling too much, I might run into trouble, so I have to be a bit careful. But I believe I've recognized every other person that is here, one way or the other. It is a great honor for me, on behalf of the government and people of Rivers State, to welcome all lawyers from across the country to Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State, for this Nigerian Bar Association 2026 Annual General Conference. Likewise, I warmly welcome all the international delegates and friends of the MBAs from across Africa and beyond who have come to Port Harcourt for this year's Annual Lawyers Conference, which is reputed to be the largest gathering of legal practitioners in Africa. I wish to express my thanks and appreciation to the outgoing president, Mazi Afam Osuigwe, the National and his National Executive Committee of the NBA, for bringing this esteemed conference to Port Harcourt once again. I wish to recall that Port Harcourt was scheduled to host this conference last year, that it was sadly moved to Enugu due to the state of emergency and the suspension of democratic rule and institution in the state. Thank goodness I have since returned to my office as the governor. And I am honored today to host and address this distinguished assembly of lawyers, magistrates, judges, academics, public officials, private entrepreneurs, and administrators, all united as members of this noble profession. Let me therefore say again that we are pleased to host this conference and delighted that you are here in such large numbers, which further confirms Rivers State enduring peace, security, and commercial transformation as Nigeria's second largest economy. We are where you are. We are where you and your. We assure you of your continuous safety and security throughout this conference. We have also partnered effectively with your leadership to ensure that you have a peaceful, successful, and memorable national conference in Port Harcourt. The business of the day. In a democratic society like ours, the legal system sets out the rule of conduct and the basis for relationship between government, public, and private institutions, and also the public. The ultimate aim of law is to protect and advance citizen security and their well-being by assuring equity before the law, safeguarding the fundamental human rights of all, and fostering an environment conducive to social economic activities and national development. Therefore, it is evident that order, peace, and meaningful human progress prevail wherever the law is treated as sovereign. Whereas denying the sanctity of the rule of law through democracy and good governance negate the high logic of civilized existence and a recipe for social disaster. Apart from the rule of law, the judiciary is also essential to any country seeking to foster true democracy, good governance, and economic development. For the courts are not merely venues for resolving social disputes. They serve as the ultimate refuge for all, including the common man, like myself, to pursue true justice, accountability, human dignity, and the enforcement of their legal and constitutional rights and obligations. This means that judges responsible for the administration of law and justice must consider overall impact of their judgment on the politics. Because law, order, and the rate of national development are inextricably linked to the quality of justice the court can deliver with integrity. Consequently, we expect that our judges should not be mere apologists or conformists if they are to be the ultimate guardian of our democracy, the rule of law, and the advancement of peace and good governance in our country. Furthermore, public confidence in the quality of our judiciary is enhanced when our judges demonstrate sound knowledge of the law and excellent legal reasoning, coupled with the courage, commitment, and integrity to hold the government and the governed equally accountable to the Constitution and the rule of law, and to ensure that nothing but the truth prevail at all times, irrespective of the party, status, or social affiliation. This is perhaps the only way to ensure that justice is not merely an ideal, but one that can transform our society by being present in the life of our nation and of every citizen, including those at society margin, not just the privileged few. As a layman, I am compelled to agree with the description of lawyers as the subtle nerve of the nation's spine. because the legal profession is not merely a business or a source of high social status. It is a profession with a moral and legal duty to safeguard our Constitution, promote the rule of law, and defend ordinary citizens' rights to good governance and equal protection under the law. It is said that in terms of uncertainty, particularly when political power attempts to overreach the Constitution and the rule of law, it is the courage of the legal profession that can intervene to nip such aberration in the bud and ensure that the process of power is not used to circumvent the law of the land and the value of democracy. Therefore, for me, the lawyer's greatest duty is to have the conscience, commitment, and the courage to speak truth to power, to defend citizens' rights, to undiluted justice, and to protect public institutions that are under attack, being weakened or abused. In this context, I see the theme of this conference, Beyond Limits, as an inspiring challenge to lawyers. As ministers and custodians of the sacred temple of justice, to rise above real or perceived constraint to protect the Constitution and advance the people's inherent rights to democracy and good governance. We cannot continue to insulate that law from today's reality. Not possible. Rather, should justice remain shackled by unjust precedents, technicalities, inadequate access, undue delays, slavish adherence to rigid processes, political manipulation, or brazen corruption? The prevalence of these serious impediments to justice in our polity has damaged and continues to damage the reputation of the judiciaries and the bar. Therefore, having entered the temple and sworn to serve justice, I urge the bar and the bench as a public institution to reflect on their role and commit to serve the public interest with characters and compassion. Our justice system can inspire confidence among the citizenry only when judges are seen as the epitome of impartial justice, equity, and fairness. In Rivers State, we understand what it means to push beyond limits. We have walked through the fears of power. Many have been bruised, yet we remain unbound to our determination to safeguard our unity, peace, progress, and are even more resolved than ever in our commitment to delivering the dividend of democracy to our people. Over the past 3 years, we have worked with the Chief Judge of Rivers State. He's here smiling to ensure that the delivery of legal and judicial services to our people. We have expanded access to justice by appointing more judges and establishing additional courts, including the construction of a federal high court, which we will hand over to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court before the end of this year. We are also doing our best to improve the security and well-being of our judges, magistrates, and state law officers. I assure you that We will continue to respect the administrative and financial autonomy of the state judiciary and work with the state chief judge to ensure that Rivers State Judiciary is ranked among the best in the country for its prompt and effective dispensation of justice. As a government, we are ready to partner with the NBA to advance our shared objective of safeguarding our Constitution, upholding the rule of law, and supporting the autonomy of the judiciary in our state. We understand firsthand that peace is the foundation of meaningful development. Accordingly, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to peace and development and continue to support and work with the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the federal government to accelerate the transformation of our dear state and that of the Niger Delta. Finally, let Port Harcourt, this is to our delegates, let Port Harcourt 2026 be remembered not only for the intellectual stimulating section you held, but also for the commitment you made, the friendship you have forged, and the resolve to go beyond limits to protect our Constitution and advance citizen rights, democracy, and good governance. I encourage all visiting delegates not only to confine yourself to the four walls of this conference, but also take time, like the outgoing president said, explore the garden city and enjoy its beauty, and the unmatched hospitality of Rivers State and its people. You can go to Anthony or Yorokoto to see the elephants. You can go to Emawa, you see the bird city. You can also go near my own place, Opobo, if you're a good swimmer. The river is very clean. You can do some beach walk there. Once again, I welcome you to Port Harcourt, and I wish you all a faithful and memorable conference. Thank you for your attention. May I, on behalf of, we have very great personalities of Rivers State that are here. OCJ Okocha is here, your past president, former Attorney General here, Chief Adoki Amesimaka, also a footballer, like our keynote speaker, and also a former Minister of Sports, a one-time SSG when I was before the emergency rule, Dr. Danagogo, and others. Most importantly, the Chief Judge of our dear state, welcome you and also declare this conference open. May God bless everyone.